200 ahead to like just to work out. And I'm like,
what am I doing?
And so I don't even get in. They had to break it into 2 workouts. And so I'm sitting there watching this other workout, and I'm like, should I just like scrap it and just go to like Disneyland or something?
Yeah.
Like, why am I here? And I'm watching this dude. He's running in the line to run 40s, and he takes his like t-shirt off. He's got like I can't say it now, a tank top that's white and tight. And then, not only that, then he takes his shorts off, and he's got like cotton boxer briefs on. Because you know at the combine, guys are running tights and they'll run in the dry fit. No, dude goes straight drawers and tank top. Like,
that's a look.
And I'm like, what? And then not only that, on top of that, he stops the whole workout and he's like, hey, everybody, hey, and he says his name, and I don't remember it. And it was kind of comedy for the story. I don't remember what his name was, but like, remember that name. You've been seeing me play on Sundays.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, is it? I'm done. I can't be associated with this anymore. And so, anyways, I go home and I have a conversation with my wife. I'm like, I'm done. I need to find something for this. Like, we can't keep living. I can't keep living like this, chasing this dream that's like getting further and further away.
You're devastated.
Yeah, crushed. Like soul is crushed. Value as a man. Like I'm like, I feel worthless. And she looked at me and she said, I know you have it in you. I know you have football left. Whatever it takes. I don't care. Whatever it takes. And she was working at a spa. She ran a spa. I don't know if it was over by Clovis West, Muses. It was there for a long time, right next to Breaking Barriers.
Yeah.
So she ran that. She took that from like a really bad and made it a really good business. You know, owners were silent, but she ran it for years. And so she at least had, but now it's even like more soul crushing. Like I'm living off my wife because the insurance business hadn't picked up yet. And anyways, and so I was like, okay. And there was just a new energy that I had again because of her. And so ended up, I signed with an arena league team. Utah Blaze. This was the year it came back after it had folded, right? It went bankrupt and then it opened back up. And I changed agents and I was like, I just need to get film. And so I went and played and it was awful. For real, it was awful. Arena football there's some guys that love it and built for it.
You were awful or just the experience was awful?
The game, specific playing it was awful.
Yeah.
I lived with like 5 dudes in an apartment and I'm not kidding you because they just come back. They had no budget. They literally paid us in Subway coupons. So it was either I could get $500 a month or they'd pay for my apartment. I was like, just pay for my apartment. And they paid me in Subway coupons. So I ate Subway for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So it was, hey, shout out to Subway. See if you can get a sponsorship from that.
Maybe we can get. I was going to say something, but I'm going to edit it. But there was a former Subway spokesperson that we will no longer say his name.
I have a question about that. Yeah. When your wife told you, that, keep doing it. Would it have been a relief if she said, yeah, that's fine?
I think short term, yeah. Because I think in the moment you'd be like, okay, she's supporting me. I mean, she could have said like, that's fine.
Anyone would have understood.
Yeah.
If you said, you know what, I'm going to hang it up.
I'm 2 full years after college. So I'd graduated, and this is 2 years now. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable response. Like, I get it. Like, but that's not who you are. That's not why I love you. Because we were never dating when I was playing. Like she knew who I was, but like we'd never been together at that point. And like, I mean, shoot, I was borrowing money from her, like to pay my car payment and pay my car insurance, like when we were dating. And so yes, it would have been, I think, short term, but again, she saw me on who I really was. I always had this like, lesser version of myself. There's a smarter word I was trying to think of, but I couldn't think of it. I always thought less of myself and that I always needed to get better. And that was kind of how I operated, but she saw who I really was, I think.
That's a great point there. Because I always talk about the idea that people talk about imposter syndrome in business and and how, you know, it's about your superpower, which we'll talk about later. But she's seeing your superpower.
Yeah, she's seen the worst in me.
You can't really see.
Yeah,
because your grief. I mean, that's And so Anyways, I play. So you're eating Subway.
Eating Subway, man. Chicken bacon ranch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Do you not eat it now? Because
no.
You refuse to eat it.
Yeah, I can't. And they changed it too.
Unless he gets.
I was gonna say, we got a deal. I love me some Subway, but so I went there, and then we were. I had a buy. So we got married, and then this is when we had the conversation, and then I leave a week and a half later to go to Salt Lake City. So we literally lived together for a week and a half, and then I left, and then first bye week. I finally get to spend time with my wife. And then I'm like, hey, there's a workout in Fresno, there's a workout in San Diego, and a workout in LA. I think we can hit all three and she was like, all right, let's do it. Like the one weekend we got to and she's working her tail off. And she's like, all right. And so I work out for a CFL team in Fresno, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Yeah. And then we drive down to San Diego. Couldn't drive my car. My car wouldn't make it to San Diego and back. I had an old beat up Durango. And then we drove overnight, couldn't afford a hotel. So we had to sleep in the car. So we're sleeping in the car in the parking lot. I can't remember the name of the high school, but I remember sleeping in the back of her car, folded on the seats. I couldn't sleep a wink because same deal. It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Like, this woman deserves way more than sleeping next to this schmuck in the back of her car because he's chasing a game, right? And I remember the sun was coming up, and I just remember praying, and I just said, hey, God, like, if this is not the path you want for me, just take it away. Please, just take it away. So we go to the workout. It was for the Sacramento Mountain Lions. This is Danny Green was the head coach. Yeah. Dante Culpepper was the quarterback.
That's I mean,
right? Yeah. And so this was like the year that it was like, and it had been a year since that other workout. For the other UFL team. And so this, it was like, okay, they're kind of making a thing of this. Like there's maybe an opportunity. And I went as a linebacker and long snapper. Cause again, I'm like, whatever I can do, don't care. Just give me a job. And we're running one-on-ones with the running backs. And I remember there was like 50 linebackers and there was like 20 running backs. And so these running backs are just going and going and going and going. I got like one rep as a linebacker and the running back coach, who is Mike McDaniels, head coach of the Dolphins now. Yeah. He like stops it and he's like, hey, I gotta give these guys a breather. Like they're gassed. I'll just chill for a second. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no. Like no. I was like, I'll run some routes. So I went over and I ran some routes as a fullback, ran 4 or 5 in a row, did well. And then, but didn't think a ton of it. I was just like, I just can't sit here. Yeah, I got to do something. And then we went and did a workout in LA for another UFL team, and then I flew back to Utah. And again, I felt like the week I was like, what are we doing? And I get a call from both the Canadian team, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, and the Sacramento Mountain Lions. The Rough Riders like, we'll sign you, and we're gonna give you $5,000 signing bonus. And I'm like, let's go. Yeah. I know the game. They wanted me to play defensive end. And then I was talking to my wife, and then the Sacramento Mountain Lions like, hey, we're not going to sign you yet, but we want to work you out again. We want to specifically just work you out as a fullback because we want to we'll see what that looks like. And so I told my wife, and I was like, I'm going to take the CFL deal. I mean, we need the money and I know it. And she's like, you tried that. Like, do you really feel like that's going to help you get to your ultimate goal? And, we're going to be even further apart. It's 6 months. She's like, are you sure that's what you want to do? I was like, yeah, we need it. Like, I know it. It'll work out. She's like, I think you need to bet on yourself. Like, I think you need to try this other thing because I think that, like, you can do that. And that seems to be the fastest path to the NFL. Like, So thank God I listened to her. And I went and worked out again, and they signed me to just come to camp, essentially. Yeah. There was a bunch of other things that happened that like actually got me to make the team and then get the starting spot week 1 and then play that whole year. Wow. But I mean, again, it was, and I say it was because of her, but there was, I'm telling you, like people's success, and we were talking about it out there, people's success is not solely on the efforts of one person.
Not at all.
Like you going through medical school and you, like the people that helped you and supported you, it was the same on my side. And there was, I mean, again, it's a much longer podcast conversation, but it was because of this person that talked to this person that talked to that person that talked to this person that talked to that, had nothing to do with me, had nothing to do with my skill, nothing to do with my ability, but because of all these things that happened, like I got an opportunity to move to fullback and play in the UFL.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, if you look at all the different things that happen, that some that you know of and some that you don't know of, to give you the opportunity, that the self-made person is crazy. Yeah. You know, the one thing I would say too, like you, the story kind of reminds me of, you know, when you look at football in general, but probably sports broader, and even in business, you look at these people and you think to yourself, they're amazing. Like, you know, like you, I'm so glad, like I'm not good with celebrities because I'm just like, we're not different.
No.
And I actually think that ends up being a thing that a lot of people are like, we stay close and connect because I'm just like, dude, you're just a regular dude or a regular woman that got an opportunity that somebody else didn't get. And so I'm not really tripping. Like I'll meet you. I'm excited. Yeah. I'm proud of your accomplishments. I'm excited that you play. I respect it, but I'm not like, you know, can you sign my head? You know?
No. That's wild. I think everybody has their own story, their own path. There's things that we can learn from everybody. It doesn't matter if they're an accountant. It doesn't matter if they're a landscape guy. Everybody has a story. Everybody has their own value, and professional athletes are no different.
So I want you to tell everybody about this and what you advise. What would you advise people? You said, it was really profound, and it's actually rocked me a certain way, where you said, you know, why would you put that on me and then put me in this situation? So like, what do you say to people? Like, you know, at the office, you got to go to the office today. You got a meeting today. You know, or you're coaching, you know, your kids' teams. Like, what do you say to somebody who thinks this is what I want to do? This is a calling. And it's not going to work out.
Yeah. I think we can speak truth to people in that, like my son, just prime example. My son is 11. He's a big kid, and he tells everybody he's going to play in the NFL one day. Right. I still haven't fully deciphered whether he says that just because his dad did, and he just thinks that that's what happens, or like he truly like wants it. I think it's probably the first one, because he's very sensitive, and there's some really good things about that. And I say sensitive because he feels really deeply. But like grit is not necessarily a characteristic that he's fully developed. And like, I love him, and he's incredible in so many ways. Like he's like my little ranch dude. Like he loves ranching with me. Like he saved me a bunch of times, like, cause he's got it up there. But I think that there's truth that when he says that I can share with him, like, hey, I will 100% support you in that, but you do have to know what it takes. Like you do have to know, in order to achieve this goal, like the amount of sacrifice that is going to be taken in order to reach that goal, the amount of work, the amount of suffering, the amount of rejection, all of these things are going to be, it's not this, and you know, it's the whole thing. Like you see the end product, you know, that you see these, you know, using agriculture, you see these hay bales, like this really nice hay bale. You don't see everything that goes in to tilling and planting and spraying and fertilizing and cutting and baling and stacking, and it's the whole deal, right? It's the whole, and then ranching is the whole deal. Like it's great. You see this beautiful steak on your plate, but like, I know what goes into it, and it's not easy. Right. And so with him, I think we can speak truth. I think we can support. I don't think it's our job to crush dreams just because we don't think, like people have done for us. I think we can challenge. I think we can challenge them in that, like, hey, are you getting closer to your goal today?
Yeah.
I don't think it becomes our goal. I think there's parents too that like they have that goal or they hear their kids say it one time and it becomes their goal for someone else.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that's a fair pressure to put on, especially kids.
Yeah.
But I think speaking truth without crushing spirit is really important.
Yeah.
Because you can let them chase that. And if they miss, even if they miss a little bit, think about how much progress and growth happened to get even to the point where you miss by just a little bit.
I mean, you know, my daughter, she went through a little rough time, you know, as a freshman, like most freshmen do. And she said in the span of 2 months, she aged 10 months is what, you know, was her. That's right. I mean, I think it's like that. I do want to, actually, one thing I'll say about the kids. So my rule with the kids, you know, I don't know if you know, but, and I write about it, which I still don't know why I wrote about it, because I'm not cured at all in respect to going through that. But he went through a seizure disorder when he was young, my son. And it's a weird age. It's 4. It's like 4.
Oof.
Because when your kids are born, they have every possibility.
Yes.
Every possibility. Like your 6-month-old, you're like, oh, you're going to be the next president of the United States. Like you have everything in the world for them. And then what you realize, and it is disappointing as a parent, actually, I don't think the parents actually have goals. I think the ones that didn't play football have goals, but
I agree.
You know,
I agree.
But they're coming in because of something they didn't get. But I think most people just have this broad array. And then the older they get and the shorter they are, or the, you know, the smarter they're not, or whatever it is, you narrow that gap. And so at 4, he has these intractable seizures. Like I'm literally like, you can't eat, you know, you can't walk. We used to say prayers, you know, little gentle Jesus, meek and mild. It's like, you know, and the kids, it was like the first thing they memorized, right? And he can't say it. And we're prompting him. We're like, you know, and he can't say it because seizing half the time. He's on meds that make him dopey. And so your window of this, like, you're going to be the president of the United States. You're going to, you know, be in the NBA. You're going to be in all these things. You're going to run this. It all gets narrowed to you need to eat, or you need to drink. You know what I mean? And so, I think that, so what I changed to is that I'm not going to decide what you do. I'm going to let you pick what you love. You know, basketball, I don't know if it was the best for either of my kids because, you know, they're small. They're athletic, but they're small. And so I made the decision that we are going to decide how you do it. So our motto in our family is, you know, hard work is undefeated. So you can listen, if you want to go and be, you know, if you want to sell drugs, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you're going to do.
You better sling the most out of anybody.
You better go, like, this is how our family rocks. And so, like, if you're going to pursue this goal, I'm never going to critique the goal.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to do the work, you need to change that goal, because you need something where you're going to be able to do that. Sorry, I broke down on that one.
No, don't. Are you kidding me? That is, I mean, as a parent, and even with your medical background, I can't imagine being there with your first child and like, what can I do? Like you said, the basic, like, you have these big dreams and aspirations, and then you're broken down to, which I think is an important lesson, but you're broken down to the bare essentials. Like, what do we actually need? Like, my kid, he doesn't need to be the president. He doesn't need to be a professional athlete.
Yeah.
He needs love, support, food, and shelter. Right. And then I think when we understand that, and 2 years ago, our family theme was simplify. Like, let's try to cut out noise. Let's try to let's really understand, okay, hey, what is important? What is the mission? Let's take care of that, focus on that, show gratitude for that, because we can get so quickly, we can get so upset and down and negative because we didn't get that car we wanted, or, hey, we didn't get the house, or we couldn't, buy that business, or I didn't make that team, or like my daughter this year, she's trying out for volleyball again. She made the A team on her 7th grade team last year, but like she's been busy and hasn't played. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She didn't do select volleyball and travel and all the stuff what all these other girls are doing. Like there's only so much value you can put into those things, when in reality, think about what has actually is provided for us and what we have helped provide for our family. And showing gratitude in that, I think, allows us then to appreciate the other stuff how they should be, because we just take for granted all these incredible things.
Oh, yeah.
Just being born in America.
Just living in Flower Mound.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's just like,
in North America, I mean, I'll throw Canada in America.
At least Toronto, not
that's right. That's it. Or
Edmonton.
Yeah, if you're from Regina, like you get it, right? Being born in America is the lottery. But yeah, there's so many things that we're just so ungrateful for, and traveling overseas is a really. If I could encourage any parents that have kids that are old enough or mature enough to go to some of these places, and depending on what you do, we took our daughter to Ghana, Africa, 2 years ago. And, we went there. Lake Volta there's a ton of child slavery in the fishing industry there. So we went with an organization that my wife and I are heavily involved with, IJM, International Justice Mission, and they combat human slavery, trafficking, abuse. And so essentially they protect the unprotected is their mission. And so anyways, we went over there, and what we didn't know is we went over there not only just for that, like the fishing industry, but the chocolate industry, the cocoa industry. Yeah. So Ghana and like the Ivory Coast, those are they produce, those two countries, like 85% of the world's cocoa comes out of those two countries. And there's a huge problem there. But what we did is we brought our daughter, who was 11 at the time, and the perspective shift that she got. Wow. We live in this bubble, and I put this bubble over the United States, and that's what's hard. And I'm not going to get political. What's really hard about looking at culture is the entitlement and ungratefulness for what we do have. Like, are there problems? 1,000,000%. But go somewhere that really has without. Like, that will shift your perspective. And so back to your point, I do believe that experience you went through your son, I mean, it does reset, and it does say, okay, like what is important? Yeah. Like breath. Yeah. Food, shelter, and love. I think those are the things, right?
So I have a bunch of ideas about what your superpower is. But in every show we ask people, what they think their superpower is, and sometimes I accept it. So sometimes I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. It sounds like it. But other times I push back. Yeah. I've heard a lot more than I've ever heard about your story. But what would you say your superpower? And it has to be. It's hard one thing. Yeah. Like, it's not like I'm on time. And, whatever. Yeah.
I think mine is connecting with people, and I think God's given me the ability to connect with all different types of people. I can connect with kids. I can connect with CEOs. I can walk into a room. I can connect with CEOs. I can connect well with old school ranchers. I can connect with professional athletes. And I used to think that it was a curse when I was young, and I talked to FCA, right? And part of my testimony was like, I was a chameleon. I could literally blend in any situation and any group of people. But I don't know if that's a curse. Like, I think if you're sacrificing your own values to belong to any and every group, like, I don't think that that's great. But I do believe that I can figure out a way to connect with very, very different people. And maybe there's a deeper root to that. Maybe it's, I don't know. It's hard because when you say superpower, right? Like, that's hard for me to. I know. But I would say that probably is one of mine.
So I will accept that.
Okay.
But I think that You mentioned chameleon. Chameleon.
I was gonna say something about the chameleon.
Yeah. So, well, I say it after. So I think chameleon is incomplete.
Yeah.
Because chameleons are usually isolated and they're usually changing for protection.
Yeah.
Or they're changing to, but I'm going to give you a different one.
Okay.
And actually it's I'm giving it to you because I think I think it's one of mine. It's not my main superpower, but I think it's something that it's duty. You what struck me about this entire conversation, and not just our working together in our, just even times we, go to dinner and hang out, we still got to do the dinner thing. I've been bad about that, but
me too.
But your sense of duty, like everything you talk about is besides the getting tackled and like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
Is all about your responsibility. And I think you get pleasure. I think you actually get, because your superpower has to make you happy.
Yeah.
You can't have a superpower. People say, oh, I do this thing. If it doesn't make you happy, if you can't do it without losing track of time, then it's not really a superpower. Superman doesn't fly and say, oh, let me stop, I'm tired. He's just flying, he's chilling, he's on his bed, he's doing he's carrying Lois, he's doing all kind of stuff because he's happy when he's doing it. So to me, what I see brings you great pleasure. It reinvigorated you after you went through your 40 days and 40 nights, after you didn't get drafted, is that duty and responsibility to somebody that believed in you.
Yeah.
And I think now even you talk about kids, the duty and the work that we've done together in business, I don't even know. I don't know how much. I don't think you even made that much on our deal, but you respond like you're making $500 million. So I don't know, but
yeah, I think you're on. I think you're right on. I think you're right on, and I think my wife would agree with you on that one too. Like just knowing me and because in my industry, in my day job, and I'm wearing a lot of hats right now. For sure, Jamaican, right? For sure.
Hey, Tyler, we're for changing his name to Tyler. Welcome, Tyler. Hey, but in Jamaica, you have to have a different name. Yeah. Jamaicans always name you something different.
Okay.
Yeah, so your name will be Tyler, and they'll call you like Phil, or like,
just cause.
Yeah, like my uncle is Uncle Lloyd, but we call him Docky.
Okay.
Like, it's just do stuff like that. So we got to find a
we'll
Jamaican
come up
name
with
for you.
Okay, I'm in. But yeah, I think so because it does, right? It does drive me, and I have a lot of clients that talk about revenue, and Vituity is not one of them.
Right.
Vituity is there's just joy because it's a different group of people, right?
Yeah.
Corporate America, it's not real pretty out there, right? Yeah. But like it's different working with the team because of the culture I think that leadership has established throughout. I just make very little money like for some of these clients, but it's just like I just want to serve that group and I want them to be successful. Like to me, the fulfillment is if like doing a podcast in a studio, in an office that like, hey, we decided, hey, this is the right fit. Driving up and seeing how different this is, the stuff we talked about. Hey, that's going there, that's going there, that's going there. How this is built up into like be a much better place than when you first moved in. The vision of that, that's the stuff that I'm like. Okay.
Just so everybody knows, we were considering several places. Tyler walked us through it, and this one fit all. The only thing is he didn't get the Big 12 got their sign on the front of the building. Yeah. And he didn't negotiate that for us. So
that was a miss. That was a for sure miss.
Okay, so but we're gonna find out. Okay. You mentioned what your wife would say, so we're gonna call her.
Curious. Let me call her real quick. It's Tiffany is my wife's name.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello. Hey, you're live on the air with Moo Tomlinson. I'm just kidding. How's it going, baby?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, you got Moo on here as well.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Good.
Well, great to meet you. And I want to apologize ahead of time for taking up your time, but also I have been threatening to come out and have dinner with y'all. So I apologize for that since I moved here a year and 2 months ago. So I've been a terrible friend.
No, we are just as guilty.
Well, we understand. We completely understand things like that. So whenever you're ready, we would love to have you.
Awesome. Well, we do have a question for you, if that's okay.
Yes.
And so one of the things
Depends on the question.
It depends on the question. I see why you married her.
Yeah.
So so on this podcast we talk about people's superpower, right? We ask them, hey, you got to pick one. It can't be that I'm on time, or it can't be that I.
Which she would tell you that is definitely not it.
It's not. You were on time today.
I was. Yeah.
But what would you say that his superpower is? That thing that he does that no one else can do, that makes his impact on the world that much greater?
Oh gosh, he has so many. I would probably say, if I had to pick one and only one, I would think Tyler's superpower is the way that he, there's so many words. I was going to say, he leads, probably leader, because he leads in such a beautiful way in all aspects. Like, he is an incredible leader of our home. He leads our boys and their teams, both on and off the field, in faith and dedication, and the way that they play sports and in their faith. And I've just never seen someone in his workplace, the way that he walks into a room and demands, not by necessarily his personality, but just who he is. He just, the respect that he displays, the leadership that he displays, he never gives up. He's just like, he does it all, and he doesn't complain. I mean, it's kind of amazing. And I've just always really admired that about him.
That's awesome. What do you think when you react, Alex?
Is it weird that I'm a sweater normally, but I just started really sweating when she started saying nice things about me?
You look so uncomfortable right now.
Baby, thank you. That was
hard.
That was kind.
Okay. It's hard with Tyler because he just really does have a lot of superpowers. Like, I could be funny and say, like, his strength, both physically and emotionally, but I just think the leader one is probably
okay. Well, since you have a lot, give us one more. Give us one more, because I feel like you're
Sherry. I want you to tell her after she does this next one. I want you to share what you said.
Okay.
I would say just his strength. He not only is physically strong, but he's mentally strong. I am very opposite of Tyler in both of those, but I've never seen someone that, it doesn't matter how hard something is, he like physically can do everything. Even if it's miserable, he'll still push through it. And you look at him and you, like, our youngest used to call him Hulk. And because he looks so strong, but he truly is actually strong in like all ways. And I just feel like that really is like a superpower.
That's awesome. I've spent a little time with him. Obviously, he helped us find our office. He also helped, get my really expensive pool. And also real estate. I mean, find my house. He helped me with that. But the thing that in meeting him and talking to him now, we connected. I feel like, in many ways we're soulmates. Obviously, I lived in Fresno for 20 years, so we have that connection. But my impression of him is his sense of duty is so strong. Like, just his duty, like, his commitment to you, his commitment to the family, to the kids, to faith, to leadership, to football, to, his job. Like, it almost like it seems like he gets reinvigorated when he has a sense of purpose and a sense of duty to something or someone. And that's what I thought. That's my initial read, but that's, I haven't known him for a long, 30 years.
Yeah.
No, that's so good. That's what's hard. It's like, it really, there's just I feel like he has a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to pick one, but I love what you saw because that's 100% true.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time. We know you're busy, and thank you for indulging us.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, no, time would not be his superpower.
Well, hey,
I got to explain this is like work meetings, stuff like that. I'm there. Yeah. It's just the stuff that when I played, right, it was a $5,000 fine if you were late. Right? So I was always on edge. Like I'd lose sleep about being on time and all that. And so then when it was done, it was like,
I can chill.
Okay, we walk into church and they've already started worship. Like, what are they going to do? Fine me $5,000? Like, well, I think it's just
the fine might be a little more severe.
Yeah,
coming from church though.
That's eternity. You're exactly right. You're right. But
exactly. Ooh, I'm gonna use that
one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we are gonna let you go because he is sweating profusely.
Yeah.
Because you're making him nervous.
Yeah. Thanks, babe. 15 years later, here we go. Still nervous.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you.
Right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Love you, babe.
Yes. Love you. Bye.
Bye. That's awesome. Dude, you really got nervous.
I did. I just when she starts like saying things about me, I'm always like uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't know. And again, I think that's I guess I can take these off now.
Yeah.
I think I'm still something that I wrestle with. And you talk about like vulnerability and all that. Like that's something that I'm learning now because I've never wanted to show that. But with her, my struggle is I still feel like I have to continue to earn her love. And that is that's something like in my faith that I've always had a struggle with and that's opposite of what the gospel says. Right. And so, but even with her, right, I still feel like I've got to earn it. And so anytime she starts to say that stuff, it's just weird to me because it's a totally different mindset, right?
So I'm going to disagree with your wife and I'm going to disagree with you. Your superpower is duty.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you just went back to it.
Yeah. I see it.
Yeah. What do you think, Jordan?
No, I agree. It's literally what he was talking about at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
That what drove him was, he didn't want to fail other people.
Yeah. You told me, you started the conversation with, I have a problem with not wanting to let people down.
Yeah.
That's your superpower.
Yeah.
And it manifests through leadership. It manifests through connection. It manifests, but it's all, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, that's wisdom right there, man. You got it.
So now, so now you're fighting through. How do you get to the Cowboys, man? Like,
yeah,
just keep grinding
just moves. And so right after the UFL season, I got signed by Cleveland to their practice squad. Eric Mangini was the head coach there, who was on staff with Belichick and my head coach from college at the Browns back in the day.
All these connections.
And so, so then he came back. And he was the head coach there, and he was wired under that Belichick mindset. And so what he liked the fact that I played defense most of my career and then just learned fullback. So them signing me to P Squad was, okay, he can be linebacker on scout and he can be fullback on scout. The more you can do. So that was great. Signed there. And that was just such a cool experience, honestly, like finally inside of like a locker room.
Yeah.
And it was surreal. It was wild. And I loved Cleveland. Like I didn't know anything different, but I loved it there. And so, went there. That was the lockout year.
Yeah.
Going into the lockout year. So we didn't have an off season. And so again, all the things, new staff, Mangini got fired. Pat Shurmur was hired as a head coach, and a whole new staff. But like I got close that offseason because Colt McCoy was a quarterback. Peyton Hillis was running back. Remember Cribbs, Josh Cribbs.
Yeah.
It's just a great group of guys, and we couldn't do organized workouts, so we'd all like travel to Austin. Colt would put workouts together at UT. And anyways, great off season, going to camp feeling good, having learned a new offense, more West Coast style offense. they ended up drafting a kid. The coaching staff didn't know who I was. They drafted a kid out of Stanford, Owen Marisik. He's a doctor actually now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, super, super intelligent. But he was a two-way guy. He has, I think, the NCAA record for he's the only player to have a touchdown on 2 consecutive back-to-back plays.
Oh, wow.
So he scored a touchdown as a fullback. It kicked off. And then on first down, he had a pick 6.
Oh, wow.
So, which is wild, right? But great guy. And had I personally had a really good camp. Gary Brown was a running back coach. He passed away a couple years ago, and awful. But he really liked me and wanted me to play there. And then the special teams coach really liked me as well. And went through camp, and there just wasn't a roster spot. I mean, you can't carry 2 fullbacks in the league now. And so they signed me to practice squad, and then there's that window that other teams can come claim you off of waivers. I cleared that, but had a bunch of calls, and Chicago called me and they said, "Hey, we want to sign you." This is on Tuesday. Sign you our active roster, and you're starting on Sunday. Miami did the same, and then, but I went back to Cleveland because I again, duty, loyalty, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned that. I went back to them because I was super appreciative. They really did treat me well.
Yeah.
There's just decisions that they have to make roster wise that it is what it is. He was a 3rd round pick. Can't not be on the active roster.
Yeah.
And so, so I went in, I say, "Hey, look, here's what's going on. Just want to give you guys a heads up." And they're like, "We don't want to lose you. We're going to find an active spot for you. It won't be this week. We'll pay you full salary. We'll do all these things. We want you to stay." And I was like, it feels kind of nice to be wanted,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, wisdom of my wife, she goes, "You're 26 years old now. Probably got to get some active games in."
Yeah.
And she didn't know anything about football before she met me. And now she's like, thing near my agent. If she'd have been my agent, I'd probably still be playing for real. And so, anyways, I ended up going to Chicago starting. And again, Mike Martz, go back to the Rams, greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
He was offensive coordinator there. Matt Forte was a running back, and he and I still to this day are super, super close.
That's awesome.
And had a great year. And we got to spend 6 years in the NFL, and, ultimately ended up in Dallas. It wasn't easy. It was still Cleveland to Chicago week 1, my first year, or my second year, I guess. And then I was traded from Chicago after I started that whole year, traded to Houston from Chicago. And then the next year I was traded to Miami from Houston week 1. So all of these are week 1s.
Wow.
So, and then I was released in Miami after week 5, bunch of defense. Anyways, I got released, and then came to Dallas, who Gary Brown, that was with the Browns, was the running back coach here. So again, connections, right? Small community, and finished my last 3 seasons here. And so it was, it was a great ride. And ultimately, fell in love with Texas, fell in love with Dallas, and stuck here.
That's awesome, man. Dallas is I think it has everything.
Yeah.
You can be on a ranch.
Yeah.
You can, be a rancher. You can also go to a, Wu-Tang Clan was here.
Yeah.
The other day I went to the concert.
Come on, over here at Toyota.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like it has everything. I think it's diverse in ways that I didn't think a city that I didn't think it was before moving here.
Yeah. Optics are, big, blonde hair and oil, and it's that's not what Dallas is. It's not what Dallas is at all.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming. I want before we go, I want you. If you had one thing, so what I'm trying to do with this, Tyler, we talked about it a little bit before, but I want to bring different worlds together.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't ask you a healthcare question. I could have asked you a healthcare question. What do you think of the state of healthcare? But for me, being a healthcare CEO and having lived my life in so many different portions that weren't healthcare, I see solutions in other areas and ways of doing things in other areas that I think we can apply to healthcare.
Yeah.
So I joke and tell people I was a rapper till I was about 16. Was DJ in college, and then thought I was going to be had it in my mind to be a professional athlete. Obviously, didn't go as far as you did, but all of those there's so many lessons from all of those experiences that I feel like in business and especially in healthcare, we block those out.
Yeah.
So other people are doing podcasts about, oh, what are the 8 ways we can fix healthcare? Oh, there's this big, beautiful bill. What do we do with that? How do we navigate? And I think it is important at some level to get that nitty gritty, but I also think, understanding that, what's been given to you, is that a thing you give up? Your sense of duty and responsibility, all of those things apply to, hopefully everybody listening to this can say, wow, Tyler just blew my mind and, gave us great knowledge. So, but with that, what is one thing that you want to leave with people, if they listening or watching this podcast that you would want them to, to walk away with?
Yeah. Man, I think be very careful to not be short-sighted. We're so enamored with instant gratification in our culture. Really, really focus on like long-term, like what that is. Be patient. Patience is something, patience is a virtue like that we don't have as a culture. I think anything that's worth having takes time. And in my experience, there's a reason that it took 3 full years for me to get into the NFL, because if I had gotten into the NFL right out of college, I wouldn't have played until I was 32. I was lucky enough to play, like, even though it was slid back, I wasn't mature enough and I hadn't learned the lessons that I needed to learn to be ready to handle that. It's the same with anything else. Like there's a reason, that you went through the path, with college basketball, and then medical school, and then getting in, as a physician, and then getting into management, kind of figuring out, because that was all preparing you to be the best leader. And looking at that, and also in that, when you look at people are the most valuable asset. I don't care what you say about AI. People are the most valuable asset on the planet. Yep. And so how you invest in people is what is most important. And I would love to get to a place where fully, and I believe it, but like fully every cell in my body believes that I'm investing into something that will flourish after I'm gone. Right. And like, I think that's a mindset as a culture. If we could get to that place, I just think of how much better. I think, and this is kind of a weird analogy, but like, think of like Louis the 13th, like this liquor, right? That's like $1,500 an ounce. And it's terrible. I'm gonna be honest, it's terrible. Right. But the creator of Louis the 13th started this process, built this company, knowing that no one was going to drink that until 200 years after he passed away.
Wow.
Like creating something like that. So I just think investing in something bigger than yourself, there's so much more fulfillment, because if, and look, people are wired differently. But to me is investing in people, loving on people, and showing other people they have value in, so much more than just what they do.
Yeah.
So many athletes, executives, military, like they're so wrapped up in like, my value is dictated on what I do. And that's not who your value is. That's not who your identity is, right? It's in so much more. So that would just be my encouragement. Look beyond the immediate, look at, okay, what does the big picture look like? Yeah. And what's that legacy that I want to leave living on beyond?
That's awesome. That's awesome. So again, remember, whether you don't get chosen to be the CEO, whether you spend 3 years trying to pursue your dream, your path is your path, and stay committed, stay focused, be disagreeable, optimistic, and relentless. I want to thank Tiffany's husband for coming on this podcast today. Yeah, I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, man. I love it.
All right. Appreciate it. Awesome. That's great, man.